It's Rock 30, Bill and Jay's excellent podcast, with your hosts, Jay Odom and Billy Quinton. Let's roll.
All right, you ready to roll?
Let's do it.
All right, welcome to Rock 30. This is actually episode number 32 overall. I've been keeping track.
We did 32 of these.
We've done this is our 32nd
Including,
episode.
does this include the secret non-released episode?
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
No,
So
there
we've
was a
done-
secret non-release of a person that is actually running for office now that we can't air it, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And so,
You know, lawyers and stuff.
right? Yeah, the lawyers got involved, and we couldn't do it. But then there was there was a lot of stuff happening. You had to handle it. I was just the one on the sideline, going when we posted it, and finally you're like, I don't think we're ever
It
posting
was fun
this.
acting like a big-time producer, working with, multi-millionaire lawyers.
But we
We
did have a candidate that's currently running for a major office. This was 2 years ago or a year ago.
Season one.
Season one.
Yeah.
And he is now running for a major office. Joined us. Had a great podcast.
Yeah.
But
Very nice.
Super nice. I had a good time. But after it was done, they were worried about a few things that were said. They wanted to edit out. And then there was other things. And then there were some
Other
things.
elections, lawsuits with.
Right. Then there were some lawsuits that were going on that they realized they can't say this, can't say that. So pretty soon it was whittled down to him saying he's excited about the Rangers World Championship.
right.
Buchanan was whittled down to
It
that.
just wasn't long
And I
enough.
was even worried if we could say that, And so it got down to we had
didn't
to,
want the
had to
Rangers
shelve
to
it.
sue us.
Right. But
Apparently, when you got hundreds of millions of dollars, what you say matters.
it
I
does.
guess I'm not used
we
to
can
that.
say whatever we want. Yeah. But anyway, this is season 3, episode 2, because we've already done episode 1, if y'all don't know, and we'll talk about it a little bit later, where we had all the candidates.
And it was live.
Whew. Was it live?
Which you're used
It
to
was-
live.
I am.
I am not.
I know
so
you're not.
I was cautious of my f-bombs.
I don't think there were any. Were
No,
there?
no, it was-
There weren't any. And then none of the candidates dropped F-bombs. That was good.
That was real good
Yeah.
because I could have.
We had a lot of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
There's a lot of. Yeah, we'll have
But
to
that was
kinda
fun.
recap the.
yeah, we will recap that.
Because we are in the midst of elections right now.
Yes. Mhm. And boy, are we. I do all the graphics. And
You busy?
I'm telling you right now while we're doing this, I'm going to get about 15 emails about, hey, how come I don't have this? And where's that? And I need to change that and to an or. And and so, yeah, all right, we'll do it. But anyway, what we want to do on this podcast is basically preview the upcoming season 3 that we're doing for all those tens of people that watch us.
I think it's 12.
I think it's 12 now. But no, we're doing pretty good. Got some good viewership and all that. You even did a little side podcast. How's that going?
Well, it's going good. I have a dream of doing a full network,
Okay.
kind of like Oprah's Own.
Okay. Wow. Wow. So we're going to have to do Weight Watchers and all that. But so you have that going. And then what else has been happening? We'll just kind of recap since we went off the air, our last podcast.
So we made it through the summer.
Yes.
Our last episode was the summer. So we talked to the coaches and we talked to we ended the summer with the Rockwall guy who
Nick Harris.
yeah the broadcaster.
Yeah, he does. He did a podcast. Now he's a writer for Fort Worth Star Telegram.
right.
It was right at Cowboys training camp.
That's right.
And we saw
he
how
was
great
in
the
midst
season
of-
went for the Cowboys. That was fun. But
Is that what I think he anticipated? Well, he worded it very well.
Well, yeah, because if I remember right, at that point when we interviewed him, they were still negotiating with Micah Parsons. We had no idea that he was going to be traded, which
That's
I think
right.
was like 3 days later or something. That would have been fun to talk about.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure he had a lot
But
to
no, that was our last one was with Nick, and because obviously right when football camp, training camp starts, that's when both of us get busy. I have the football broadcast, and you have the girls on the drill team that are at every game and doing everything, and then the competitions and all that.
Yeah.
How did that go? Everything go good this
It's
year?
going good. So they're starting. This is their competition season where they dance inside the gym,
Gotcha.
and they're
And this is the Stingerettes, to remind everybody. Yeah,
Stingerettes, the Rockwall High School drill team. So this is there's a group of dads that bring out the props. We're called prop dads.
I know you're a
Although
part of that.
Well, this season I've not really been there, so they're.
Uh-oh.
I'm going tomorrow night.
Okay, all right.
But yeah, there's a lot of work for everybody to do. But
I've been to one of their shows. They have a pretty big show, right?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah,
They do.
And so that's very exciting. Now, what year are they?
They are juniors.
Okay.
17.
Oh man. You know what? 17-year-old girls are great to raise. There's no
It's
emotion.
easy.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah,
so
it's
easy.
calm. It's very
yeah.
calm.
There's really no surprise attacks at all. You know, you think things are going well and all of a sudden you're just being berated about something, that you had no idea. But I'll tell you what, I've said this before. I don't know if that's happening with y'all, but if it is, it gets better. It gets a lot better because it goes full circle. It doesn't go full. It goes like a 180 now. Because Berkeley, when she was that age, it was a
little bit of a challenge.
Put on a helmet and you go. Let's just go. Let's just see what we can. And then now she's she comes back around. She's like, all right, yeah, y'all were doing a lot. Yeah, we're trying. We're trying. So, but anyway, yeah. So y'all get that going.
So it was we broke right before the football season.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to talk about how Rockwell did?
I don't want to talk about how Rockwell did. They did.
Well,
it was the first year ever that since we've been doing it that they didn't make the playoffs.
I know.
No, they had missed when we first started broadcasting, but it was the first time they had missed the playoffs in 13 years. But I had a good season. It was just four of the teams had slightly better seasons, and so but that was an adjustment. But very excited about this upcoming season. That's a few months away, and it was always fun to call the Jacket games and be a part of it. And Coach Brooks is outstanding. And but congratulations to the Hawks. The Hawks did make the playoffs, and I think they went 2 rounds, I believe. And so, but yeah, they did. They had 2. They went 2 rounds, and as either team, if it's Rockwell or Heath, the way everything's set up. And with this new realignment, I believe I have to go check. I'm not 100%, but I believe that no matter what, you're probably going to play Duncanville second round. No matter what you're doing, and so it'll be a little bit challenging every year. But anyway, and that's what Heath ran into. They ran to Duncanville. But another big thing as we talk about the past year, Rodney Webb has resigned.
Yes,
as the Heath football coach.
How did you feel about that? What do you?
Well, I'm happy that he can wear orange again. We're excited about that.
He's safe to do.
Yeah, he's safe to wear orange again. That's the first thing I told him. Put on that R. You can wear it again.
Do you think he kept them all?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
I'm sure.
so
He's kept all his schools. He has to get another house. He has a whole separate house for all his wardrobe from all the schools he's coached at. And so he can go back to any of them and then go get it. So I'm sure he's kept some. But had a good run there at Heath, 3 years, got that program back on track, and that's always good. And so, but yeah, he resigned, and now they're in the process of looking for the new head coach there. And but I think he's excited. He's gonna get a new grandbaby, so I think that's the main focus right now.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So I think they'll be spending a lot of time down in Waco, or when Gracie and Colin come up here with Waylon, the grandbaby, and they'll be doing some babysitting. So I think that's a big part of it too. So anyway, yeah. So that's
I'm
big
excited
news.
about it for him. Excited for him.
Yeah.
I just wonder if how he's going to feel come September.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Now we'll help him out here. We're going to help him out. He has a lot that's for sale. Like us, we have double lots. Yes. He's had his what do you call it, Jay? Where you kind of get it cut in half.
He's platted.
You got it. I couldn't think of the word. He's got it platted. So they're selling that lot. If anybody's interested in a lot, right there downtown Rockwall at Kaufman and Tyler. Beautiful lot.
Theater district, as you said.
Theater district. Yep. And they're getting a new theater there. They're building a new one.
They are.
But anyway, he had some people looking at the lot, and so I decided to help him. As I see the people standing there looking, I just came out of the house and just asked him, "Hey, are the hookers coming at 6 or are they coming at 7?" I can't remember. And he was like, all right. Because he did the same thing when we were renting the house.
Oh,
we had we have a house that we rent next door.
That's right.
And a guy was there looking, and he came out and said, "Hey, are we still doing the all-nude sunbathing later on today?" All right.
So you got him.
So here we go. So anyway, yeah. But we did end up renting to that renter. I guess he heard the nude sunbathing and was excited about it. So
that
now we're worried. Yeah, now we're worried. But anyway, so that's big news there with the resignation of Rodney Webb and all that. And then let's kind of go over, some other things going on.
There's been a whole lot in the news.
There has.
And even going back to our last week and just the state of these local elections, they've gotten nasty. I mean, if you get on Facebook, I mean, and we kind of called it when it took that route. I think with Justin and Katrina, it was such a big race that it started getting. And I remember we were saying, like, I think this is the turning point for even local politics are gonna divide. And
doing these politics all these years, I do campaigns all over the country, but Rockwall was always one of the few that never got mudslinging. They never really bashed the other guy. Now and then you'd say a thing here and there like, well, he doesn't have this experience or she doesn't do, but it was never like calling them names and things like that.
Which you had your finger on the pulse because you were seeing all.
Oh yeah, because you go to these other campaigns and they are talking about each other like they got tails. I mean, it is it's crazy. And I'm even in primaries, which is what we're having right now. We're in the primaries, and so you're talking about your fellow Republicans or your fellow Democrats or whatever, and you're just
neighbors.
Bashing them, and neighbors and people that are friends that are now running against each other and stuff like that. But you're right. I think it started with the school board a few years ago.
It just
when it got ugly with the COVID thing and all that.
And I'm not blaming that on either of those candidates, Justin or Katrina, but that just seemed to align time-wise. Where everyone had a strong opinion, and then they started, if you don't believe this, and if you, and it's just never really stopped.
It's gotten to a point now that both sides do it. I strongly feel that the Democrats do it a lot more than Republicans, but Republicans do it too. Is like, here's our box that we want everybody in, and if you're not in this box, if you have another opinion about something else or whatever, we're done with you. We don't want you, and I disagree with that. And you got people like Fetterman on the Democrat side that, says what he believes, and a lot of it goes against what a lot of the left wing wants to do. You have Rand Paul on the other side with the Republicans that he's doing that, and I'm all for it, because I think we're all individuals, and you're running for your area too. And whatever you're representing those folks, and what they want may be different than what other areas want.
I think it's gotten really dangerous for any candidate to be completely honest.
You're right.
I think they have to be real extreme to get the votes. And if you show, and it's almost considered a weakness now on any conservative or liberal topic, if you show a weakness for maybe, I kind of understand this, maybe this would be better legislation on that topic. You're out.
Yeah,
you're a rhino. Yeah. You're a racist. It just depends whatever side you are. So they have to be all or nothing.
I do think you kind of see it with the ICE issue going on. It's calmed down now, but over the last couple months, it's been obviously crazy. And if you look at the liberal side, it seems like if you are not anti-ICE, you're in trouble. On that side, you better be anti-ICE, or you're not a part of our group.
It's over. Yeah. You will not be elected.
You cannot defend those guys at all. I think on the Republican side, it seems like they're more, lack of a better word, more liberal about. Because I think there's been a number of Republicans, myself included, that thought, okay, I don't think it's cut and dry with the two people that were killed. I think they had their problems, but I think the ICE was not doing things the way they should. And you can go into the whole aspect of, well, they weren't having help from the local officers, the local authorities there, so they were on their own. They had to bring more people in, and they've had a history of being attacked by these protesters, the peaceful protesters. So I give them some slack because I'm sure they're on edge. Does it mean they should have shot him? Boy, that's a touchy one, because you look at it sometimes, you're like, man, why did he shoot her?
If you watch it, sometimes it is like, it's hard to understand, and I wouldn't want to make any accusations.
And that's what I'm getting to.
But it doesn't look great.
It's not, to me, it's not black and white.
No,
and so because you have the one side presenting the victims as these innocent, angels that were just murdered in the street. Well, that wasn't it. They have a history of, kind of poking the bear. And then you have the other side with the ICE agents are just doing their job, and they are.
Or trying to do
They're trying to do their job, and they're making it, and that's the whole goal of the protesters, is to make their job difficult.
Yeah.
But there's been some, things that have happened. You're like, man, I don't fully understand why that. You had the guy that was, he didn't pull his gun, but his gun was pulled. But I can see if you're an agent, ICE agent, and there's somebody yells gun, and this dude has a gun, we can all sit back hours after it happened and say, well, I would have done this.
Yeah.
They have to make that decision within a millisecond of what they've got to do. And so that's where I kind of come in on that one. And I think it shows that when Trump came in and sent Holman in, I think that was a good option, because they still need to do what they're doing. And so, but what I was getting to is on the Republican side, I feel like we have more leeway where we can have people say, man, I'm 100% behind ICE. I am. I know you are.
Absolutely.
But it doesn't mean that we can't say, that was, that's tough. That's a tough one. But I don't fully blame them either, because we don't know what it's like or what that situation is. We weren't there.
And cell phone video.
It doesn't mean that I don't think that the lady it didn't look like she was trying to get out of the way when she was, but did she run him over? No, I don't think she ran him over. But how does he know what she's doing?
Exactly.
So,
the bottom line is if you're in a vehicle and you're not doing what they're telling you to do, proceed at your own risk.
Yes, I agree. And that's
I wouldn't dream of doing that, because I'd be scared of getting shot.
I agree. And that to me is the core issue, is just do what the officers tell you to do, even if you hate it.
And sue them later.
Yes.
Don't lose your life.
I can never imagine myself. I mean, how many times have we been pulled over and we don't agree that we were speeding or that we ran that light?
Right.
But we didn't jump out and start screaming at them and go at them. You just sit there, you take your medicine. Yes, sir. No, sir. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. I'll get my ticket, but I can fight this in court, or I can even go public on social media and do all this junk I want to do and try and put my case. But that person is doing their job. You have to listen to them, and that's to me the common.
And especially if they're saying stay put and you're leaving.
Right. Yeah, I believe.
I'm not saying you deserve to die, but you're putting yourself at risk of.
And that's where the issue comes in. Neither one of those people deserve to die.
Right.
But they did deserve to be detained.
Yeah.
I think, and unfortunately, it went. Yeah.
Bad, yeah.
So anyway, and then you got the Epstein files. And that's a tricky one, because I don't know how you are, but I'm like, if you're on that thing, if there's evidence, apparently a lot of that Epstein stuff, they're not sure if it's a lot of hearsay in it.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you can use that, but if there's absolute, this guy said this, there's an email from this guy, there's a photo of this guy.
Any of them.
Let's go to court.
Any of them. Yeah.
Let's arrest them and let's do it.
And it's just, when we had Ratcliffe on a while back, one of the things we talked about, he said, I can prove without a shadow of doubt that Hillary Clinton, the whole email situation, what she did was illegal, without a shadow of a doubt.
Right.
And I said, well, why the hell ain't she in prison?
Right.
And it's frustrating, because she still ain't, and she ain't ever going to prison. But we have a high-powered person saying, I can prove it without a shadow of a doubt.
Right.
We know it.
Right.
Well, like I said, you go at some little neighborhood and some 16-year-old smoking a joint, boy, they're going to get him. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But, that's the problem with the Epstein deal. You got powerful people that are allegedly doing it, but it looks like they're doing it. But then you have those powerful people are connected to the powerful people making the decisions.
Yeah. So they're protected innately.
Yeah.
Through money, usually.
Yeah. Because a lot of these people wouldn't be in the position they're in as far as their offices if it wasn't for these other people that are on the list, or or vice versa. Yeah. So, I don't think we're ever. I just think it's ironic that when this originally came out, the Republicans were the ones saying, we want this list out, we want to bust everybody, and the Democrats are not. And then when they start figuring out, oh wait, there's some people that we don't like on there, we need that list out, then the Republicans are like, well, let's tap the brakes a little bit. So that tells you both sides are knee deep.
It's all of them.
Yeah.
And I think it's the type of person, and this is very generic and not everyone, but generally speaking, the type of person that thinks they can run the world generally speaking, they have a certain type of ego about them, and that usually includes, you can't catch me, I'm not going to get in trouble.
Yeah.
That's a stereotype, but I think a lot of those people thought they'd never, ever get caught. They're too powerful, they're too rich.
Well, if you're doing these terrible things, and you also know that Bill Clinton's doing it, and Donald Trump's on there,
the people that
and all these people, there's these actors on there. Well, they're not going to get caught. I'm safe. I'm safe with this guy.
And it will not surprise me if not one person goes to jail.
I agree. I don't think anybody goes. And you feel bad for these girls, these victims.
Absolutely.
Because they're sitting there, and that leads us to the Pam Bondi deal. I'm a huge fan of Pam Bondi. Huge fan. But
I feel like she did some protecting.
I feel like that she didn't act attorney generalish on that hearing.
Yeah.
I think, I love, and I'm forgetting his name, our Treasury guy, the Treasury guy that was there earlier, a few weeks before, the calm guy, and I'm forgetting his name. They were just ripping him, and he just stays calm, and he calmly just picks them apart. Holman does the same. Yeah, I do too. They drive me crazy because they're so manipulative. Both sides do it, where they do this. I just want a yes/no answer. No, that's bullshit. You're asking this question, and you really don't want the answer because you just want it to have your grandstand.
Yes.
And both sides do it. And then when they try to answer it, it's not a yes/no. Have you stopped beating your wife? And they go, I want yes/no.
Right.
Any sane person's not going to say yes/no. You're going to let me answer. Nope, it's my time. To me, that has to be stopped or somehow curtailed.
It's just a big show.
It is.
I think,
and we're not getting anything done.
Politics is a big show.
It is.
And I think the billionaires we don't know their names of, some of them we do, are really the people that are being elected. We're just kind of getting some actors in there.
Yeah, I agree.
Look pretty, look good.
Well, you saw it back in the whole robber baron days, like in the 1900s with J.P. Morgan and all those guys. They ran the country.
Yeah.
It was just they got their people in there, and all that. And so I think we're at that point too. I don't think that that the politicians that we see out there are really running as much as we think that they're running.
Right.
And I hate that none of them have common sense. A lot of them don't have like for instance, the whole voter ID thing.
Yeah.
83% of the country thinks you should have an ID, but yet you still got Schumer and those guys calling it Jim Crow, because he's been given we can't let this pass. Yeah. We can't let this. So I've got to go out there and say it's bad. And how? Because we have to show an ID for everything else we do.
It's to me, I find that so offensive and racist.
It is racist.
I've talked to so many black people that are so offended to say, that poor people, black people, minority, all these groups, they don't have the ability to get IDs like you rich white people.
Right.
And they are very offended. Like, really?
Yeah.
That's my big gripe I have with the left.
You can't exist in this country without an ID. You can't exist.
You can't.
You can't do a thing.
So it's just a bad argument.
It's a terrible argument, especially if I want to get a beer, or I don't get carded anymore, but but you want to do anything. You want to rent a car. You want to do anything. Well, like they talked about, who was it that when Schumer went in and spoke at Congress, to get in, you have to show your ID.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, you had to literally show your ID just to come in this building, but now you're saying it's racist for others to not, that they have to have an ID. It doesn't make sense. But you can tell that he's been cornered because this is their platform. They've decided we're going to die on this hill, even though 27% of the country only agrees with him.
And they can't go back. It's really hard.
Yeah, you can't. And that's the other thing. These politicians can't change. You should be able to change your mind. You should be able to come out and go, you know what? I was wrong. Now we see it. Like you see clips of Democrats all the time talking about strong borders. Hillary Clinton did, Bill Clinton did, Obama did.
We don't want.
They don't want people. Now all of a sudden you can't say that. Yeah. It's like, wait, you were saying it before. And they never said they changed their mind. They just kind of.
Well, and they'll say it's the way that they were handling it was humane.
Right.
Trump is a horrible person doing it in a humane way.
Right.
So it's.
But they talked about the cages. Well, it was. The evidence. I mean, Obama built the cages, and all that stuff. They have the evidence.
The ones
of that.
they show pictures of.
Yeah.
It's just.
And they don't bring up, like, didn't Holman say they reunited something like over 3,000 kids or something like that, or 1,500 kids back with their families that during the Biden administration were away from their families. Remember that? They never could. But that's not going to be on the media because that didn't help their deal. And so, and it's both ways. I mean, both sides do it, and they only pick the, cherry pick. Like, you have your algorithm when I look at things and on my phone, and it's basically conservative stuff on there. I look how this guy said this to her and all that stuff, or she said this to him. But I'm not getting the other side because the algorithm knows I don't see it.
But if you ever read one liberal post, then it just turns.
Right. Then I'll go the other way. Yeah, whoa.
And it's interesting to make yourself read it because you naturally don't want to. You're already feeling this is bias, this is crap. But the question is, can we really read it and make up for our minds?
Right.
We don't want to.
I know, because we're comfortable in our deal.
I'm like, it's bullshit.
Yeah. And I learned from my son Cash, who he's so into politics, but he adamantly is like, he watches. He's conservative, but Dad, you got to watch this CNN clip, or you got to watch this MSNBC or whatever they are now. Now, he never agrees with it, but he looks at the other side.
He has the information.
And to me, it's the best route because clearly I don't agree with a lot of the policies on the left, but I do want to see, I really want to know their reasoning for it. And not just because we were told that this is the direction we got to go because we get more votes or whatever that way. It is, why do you think? And when they come out with things like, minorities can't get IDs, that crap, you're like, okay, come on, that ain't common sense. You know that.
Right.
So it's, to me, it's like if you're playing a team, you need to watch film of that other team to prepare and know what they're doing over there. And so I do try to watch the other side. It's hard.
It is.
It's really hard.
Which really says a lot. The fact that it's hard says a lot.
But then I kind of get mad at our side too. I'll watch Fox. I'm like, come on, man.
It's over
the top too. Come on, man.
We've gone like.
Yeah. Well, like for instance, when Rob Reiner and his wife were killed.
Yes.
I don't care who you are. I think 99% of America really liked Rob Reiner movies.
Yes.
Don't care who you are. So when he got killed, it sucked. For all of us. I know his politics were complete opposite of mine. Don't care about that part. Right. I just loved Stand By Me and A Few Good Men and all these Princess Bride. Those movies are great. Tons of movies. And then when Trump came out and said he was bad for the country, that pissed me off.
Yeah, it was not.
But then you saw a lot of these Republicans on the media trying to defend him. And I'm like, no, don't defend that.
Yeah, they have to.
That's what I'm saying. It goes on both sides. Quit defending him. That was BS. That was childish what he said there. He shouldn't have done it.
It was just, I'm going to get him back.
Yeah. And then
that's really what it
brings me back to the Pam Bondi deal. I didn't like that she was screaming at these people. She's the attorney general. And she had her list of things. Now, everything she said, I agreed with. But the way she did it, I was like, man, come on. We got to be more professional here. If you're going to get mad at them for screaming at us, you can't scream at them.
That's exactly it. You hear a lot of people saying, we're done being nice. Republicans have been courteous and nice too long. It's time to get nasty. That's the explanation of why. I don't know if we've gotten to a point where, is that true? Like if they don't put out the flyers that you make that says this person's a Muslim, or they are, whatever.
Well, the ad out now against, and it's a PAC, so it's none of the candidates did it. It's a PAC, but the liberal Frank New. Have you seen this commercial?
Yes,
it's on about 1,000 times.
Do you have to do that to win? Is the question.
Right.
And I kind of think you might.
I think I think sometimes it depends on where you're at, but. Studies show if you go dirty, it's a more of a negative effect on your campaign. If you go negative, if you go bashing your opponent, even if it's legitimate, it goes negative towards you too. Because people just don't want to see it. At least in our bubble.
I think so.
I think in other areas they want it and they look for that.
But they have to be careful if it's said enough times, it's true.
Right.
Because if you've got somebody saying it over and over and over, and the other person's not spouting back, I've seen examples of people saying, "But have you heard that they do this?" You're like, "No, they don't." We've seen that.
And today there was a tweet, and it was a bunch of them, and it was like the Seattle Seahawks have turned down Trump's invitation to come to the White House, because they won the Super Bowl. I'm like, holy cow.
I didn't see that.
I went and looked it up. No, they hadn't. It
wow.
was just, somebody put it out there, it took off.
It's all about
Now, I'm not saying it may not happen. I don't know, but at least as of now, but they were, putting it out there like that. That happened.
Oh, what'd you think of the Super Bowl?
I love seeing Jackson win. I loved, that was great. I know he's disappointed that he got injured and didn't get to play as much as he wanted to. And I think the Patriots had a great defensive game plan. They kind of took him out of the game a lot by basically destroying the quarterback. By Darnold back there was running for his life a lot. But I just thought it was fun. It wasn't the greatest played Super Bowl. It wasn't the most exciting, but it was real fun to see Jackson out there. Yeah,
it is great. I mean, a Rockwall High kid.
Yeah, I know.
Not just in the Super Bowl, but a star.
Like, he's the main guy they're talking about.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and so when Tom Brady's talking about you, you've done something. Yeah.
How old is he?
Jackson?
Yeah.
Oh, I'd say
23?
he's, well, you know what? He's the same class as my daughter, so they graduated together, so 23 or 24.
24 years.
Yeah.
So he's hopefully got a long career.
Yeah. And so, no, he does. And I think he's up for, I think he has one more year on his rookie contract, but this is when you start negotiating and all that. So
we need to get him on the show.
Well, let's go to that. Let's go to
Okay.
that. I've contacted a few. It ain't as easy now to get in touch with Jackson as it used to be.
Are you saying he's not answering your text?
I don't know if I have the right number now because because before it would be answered now, but I don't know.
I'm sure he had to get a new phone.
He has a billion people, I'm sure, trying to get him. Yeah. But yes, I want to get Jackson and his brother Kanan.
Yeah.
Because Kanan is an incredible athlete. Played at Heath, baseball player, was in the pros for a long time. So I want that family. You sit there and you look at the odds of a family having one kid make professional ranks. This family had two.
Yeah.
And both of them, one of them is the offensive player of the year in the NFL.
A star.
And Kanan played a long time in the major leagues and the minors, and then got moved up to the majors a number of times. I want both of them on. I want to talk about that family and that life growing up.
He should be spending some time home, I would think.
I hope so, and we'll see if we can get him to pop over. I'm sure he's got a lot of requests, and I'm not sure how high Rock 30 ranks in there to bring him in, but definitely he's on the list. Let's talk about that. That's our whole point of this podcast is our preview.
And we want people to leave comments. Who would you like to see
exactly
on the show?
Yeah, that's where we want to go. We kind of
it doesn't have to be a politician or a NFL sports star. Just interesting people with crazy stories. That's what
tell me some of the things. Like, there's a lot of angles you want. I know that we've talked about. Like, what are some of the angles that because like you said, when we had we had Navy SEALs, we've had we had the Voice people that've been on the Voice, all that stuff. Those are fun.
I don't care if they're a trash man.
Yeah.
If they've got a great story where you can learn something from it, that interests me.
So all trash men. Where's my camera? We need all the trash men.
You know what I mean?
Give us your info.
We've all talked to people that are really important that'll put you to sleep too.
That's true. We have.
So it's not about. I mean, some people just because of their role, like Ratcliffe.
Oh.
Just to hear some of what he may know is fascinating. So it is depending on your role, that in itself is fascinating.
And I've contacted John too. We want to get him back. I just don't think he can in his.
Right now.
I've started out with, hey, I know there's nothing going on with the government right now, so I'm hoping you have some free time. I'm sure that.
Well, he watches the show.
He does.
Course,
yeah.
So.
But I would love to have him back. Now, I think as CIA director, he's probably not going. If you notice, he's not. He used to be on Fox all the time. He's not on Fox
anymore. He's very private.
Well, you got to be. You're CIA director.
But compared to the FBI guy, what's his name?
Oh yeah, Patel.
Yeah. Like you see him all day long.
You do. He's doing interviews and stuff, but I think most of the time. But is he? Yeah, he is. He's on some media interviews and stuff. But you don't see John a lot. Yeah. And that may be, I'm assuming, by choice. But we'll get him back at some point because what's the one podcast we've done that most people have brought up to you? What's one of the more popular ones?
I would say definitely John Ratcliffe. I think that was interesting for a lot of people. And I always hear about Amy Thibodeau.
Okay.
My friend Amy. Because that was some real talk.
Well, we solved the abortion problem there in that one. I won.
Yeah, clearly.
It was nice. So
I just love that snippet.
We probably should get Amy back.
I think it'd be
Well,
great.
here's what I want to go to on that, because we are right leaning, very obviously. Okay. But I want other viewpoints.
Oh, absolutely.
We have tried. We've talked to a couple people. We want to get. There's a Rockwall County Democrat party, or whatever you call it, and we want their chair.
Yes.
We want to hear from the Democrats and what they're
and what it's like to live in Rockwall.
Exactly.
I always think about a Democrat in Rockwall is everywhere you go, people are going to assume they can say, "Oh man, did you see Trump?"
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like they're just they're going to assume, and what it's like to think. You're in the middle, and this is probably what they'd say, which is really annoying. I live in the middle of rednecks out here in Rockwall.
Probably, yeah.
They're so unsophisticated, and they're Trump supporters
Right,
and MAGA.
right.
I'm wondering, that's my take. But
let's get somebody, because mine is a little different, because I know a couple people that are Democrats, and they're outstanding and all that.
Yeah.
They don't really, when you start talking about politics, it gets a little heated sometimes,
Yeah.
but a majority of the time it's fine. But I'd love to have somebody like it. We talked about this. There's a lot of things we don't get. The transgender thing, I don't understand it.
Right,
right. I'm open to having a transgender on. Talk to us about what that is like. What's going on there?
Especially living
we're not
in
going to be, it's going to be an odd conversation, but what's going on?
Yeah, with no judgment.
No, it's just like, man, give us your side, because I know mine. We all know a majority of our side of it. I don't understand it, but I would like somebody to come on and say, okay, here's what happens. Here's why we do this.
And how interesting that they are in that situation in a very Republican area, the Bible Belt. What is that instead of being in New York City or LA?
Right. It's probably a little bit harder.
Take some balls.
Maybe like us living in San Francisco. It would
You missed
not
my
work
joke.
out. Well,
Take some balls.
damn, I went right through that too.
I
I'm
don't ever have
sorry.
any jokes.
Let's do it. Let's take two. Take two.
That takes some balls, Billy.
There. Oh, that's good, Jay. Hey, do you know the difference? You can tell the difference between a snowman and a snow woman?
I don't.
Snowballs.
I should have done that.
No, we want that. That's who we want We've tried. We've come close to getting. We talked about getting somebody that's gay. There was a gay couple that wanted to come on, and then they kind of were like,
I think they're a little scared that we are there to attack them.
No, I just want to know.
I
want to know what it's like to be on that side.
Yeah.
To me, it's the same thing. Do we agree with it? No. I don't agree with it, a lot of it. But that doesn't mean I don't want to talk to you about it, because I don't agree with people that are Eagles fans. Why would you do that? Why would you go your whole life being a Philadelphia
That's
Eagles
more of a
fan?
question.
Yeah, that's that might get heated if we get somebody like that.
Yes.
But that's the way I look at it, is just because we disagree or don't understand it doesn't mean we don't want you on here to talk about it. I'd love to hear what it's like.
I think Amy would be great. I love Amy Thibodeau.
I do too.
We can have conversations, and she's just a great person. And that relationship that I have with her is a great example of, even if you have separate politics, you know a good person when you know a good person.
And that's the way it should be in the country, and we don't do that. And that's the other part of it, where you have Amy's different than a lot. Now, she lives in an area that is majority conservative.
She's so brave and bold and just says it. Even if she's a realtor, she'll post what she believes, and that could hurt. Hurt business.
Yes.
But she doesn't care, and I love that.
But she'd be killing it in San Francisco if she lived there. But
by the way, right now is where I'm going to insert the clip of y'all's little back and forth.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
You're being ridiculous right now.
You do not have the right to tell somebody what to do with their body if it's not your child. We're going to cut WIC. We're going to cut Medicaid. We're going to cut food stamps. Oh yeah, they have. You can't have it both ways.
Why not?
You cannot want a life born and not a life fed, educated, and have medical.
No, because that's why it was all of a sudden up to the government. At one point, you're saying
but you're
the
telling
government
me I have to have a baby, but I can't afford this baby. I've got 5 babies and no
Adoption.
husband.
Adoption.
No, do not.
Well, we just
do
talked about
not,
adoption.
Do not say
What's wrong with adoption?
it's hard and
It
it's
is
not
hard.
for everybody.
Life is hard. Life is hard, and we all go through these hard
You're
things.
ridiculous right now. You're ridiculous
I'm
right
not.
now. You're
No, I'm not.
absolutely ridiculous right now.
We had really.
Life is hard.
Yeah, I'm telling her life is. She goes, because it's hard. Yeah, life is hard.
And then this is me. Yes, I'm back.
You're the one just poking both of us.
I did kind of do that, but don't you think? Yeah. And then back.
Now we can resume that if we want. Yeah. But I love Amy. I've seen her a number of times since then, and we've had some fun with it. But but that's what we want. We don't want just conservatives. We love having them. Hey, there's no better thing than having somebody that agrees with you and you get to come up here and yuck it up.
Yeah.
But I really want some people but I want legitimate reasons. Why do you think this? Why are you feel this way? And it does come from where you were raised, what your family was, all that stuff, because there's legitimate reasons. That's why I always tell my kids, because somebody is opposite of you politically, it doesn't mean that they want the country going great just as much as we do.
That's right.
They just they think a different path.
I think there's those that would have us believe that all liberals are lunatic, crazy, blue-haired freaks.
Right.
That have no reverence for the law or anyone's religion or God. And it's just not the truth.
It's not the truth.
And then they are being told we are horrible, scary, racist bigots. And that is not true.
That's not true.
It's both.
I will say this about liberals, and this is a hard stance, but I'm going to stand with it. And I know my conservative friends may not like it. I've said this before. I've seen other people say it. If somebody's making my coffee, I want it to be a liberal. The liberals are so good at making the fancy coffees, at like Starbucks and all those. They make those. They're so. I want
the heart. When they
all that stuff,
art,
but they just know how to do it. That's their jam, to use a '90s term.
So we need to find a conservative barista.
I don't think they exist, because I don't think they're any good. I think you have to be liberal to make good coffee, is what my point is. I think you need to be fresh off an abortion, walking right into the coffee shop with your blue hair, and you're getting Billy's coffee ready. That's what I want.
If you think about coffee, you definitely think Northwest.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
Portland and
that's true. That's where all
the home
started. Yeah, but that's where I want the liberal in my life. Right there, making that coffee, doing that.
You're right.
But no, and that's what's hard for us as conservatives too, is because we like entertainment. Well, a majority of the entertainers are liberal, so we don't get a lot of movies and songs. Well, songs is different because you do have some conservatives, you have that, but movies and TV shows that have our point of view.
That's true. And if they do, it feels very preachy and weird.
Yes.
It's got horrible lighting and bad acting.
That's the other thing. The movies that are made, the Christian movies that are made, they're not good.
No, it's because they have to use non-Hollywood
or ones that are not getting hired anymore. The guy that used to be Conan on the TV show is on Kevin Sorbo or whatever.
Oh yeah.
He's in all of them. Those guys. It's all those people, and they're doing the movie, and you're like, this would be a great movie if De Niro was in here doing it, but he ain't going to do this movie.
The sad thing is that they know that and I'm sure it's not only the actors that we all see. I guarantee you it's the cinematographers, the writers, the directors. If you do something like that, you're blacklisted.
Right. Well, you see it all the time now. You see those few conservative actors that have come out and said, like Rob Schneider, you don't see him on anything anymore, the comedian, Mel Gibson,
Kane,
those guys, Dean Cain. Cain. They are like, no, that's the reason they're not working much anymore, is they, went right, or they, said that they
Kirk Cameron,
are conservative. Yeah.
Who now is a very successful podcast.
Right.
You kind of got
you got to go podcast route. That's the other thing that's ironic to me, is when they had that's what shows you, when they had the Golden Globes and they had that new podcast category.
Oh yeah.
And the most popular podcast. I know. I thought we were too. I got up that morning.
Did you?
And I was waiting for the call.
I slept in.
Did you? No, I got up that morning. I was like, they're going to call us. They're going to call us.
What's political?
Yeah, it is. It is. I think when. I don't know. I just feel like when Cash came on the show and talked about people shitting in the shower, I think that took us out of competition.
That got us banned off the algorithm.
It did.
Remember, we got a message about body. What was the way they described it?
It was body fluids.
Body fluids.
You can't talk about body fluids. I've seen a million YouTube things with body fluids on it, and then ours couldn't do it.
One of the best podcasts we've ever had. Yeah. We got 4 views. Yeah. I'm like, we get an email about body fluids, it doesn't get
couldn't do it. Couldn't advertise it. But I will say this about that one though. I mean, you said 4. It's like gotten steadily up there.
It did.
And we never advertised it. And that's the one I get. Of course, he's my son, so a lot of people bring
it
up.
You didn't answer what you hear most.
That one, the Kent Barnett one too. When Kent and came on and they talked about him being in prison. You know?
And they were so honest.
A lot of people like that one.
Wow.
A lot of people come to us about Cash and his mental health and dealing with that and all that. And that one's, you know, he gets a lot of people talking to him.
Did he ever regret being so
No.
open? Mm-mm. I'm so glad. I was a little worried because he
was worried about it.
You really are putting yourself out there.
Yeah, he was.
But
And
he's never regretted it.
and we talked to him about it. And at first, you know, he was like, I don't know. Then he said, let's do it. I need to do it.
Yeah.
He came out and did it. And I watched it again a few months ago, and I'm proud of it because I'm proud of him and what he did. But yeah, of all the things he said, you know, the terrible things he's gone through, the things that he has to deal with, that the YouTube said you can't advertise it because he said somebody shit in the shower. It was like, this is the
real world.
This is the line crosser. This one. So, but anyway, no, I get a lot on that one. The Matt McLaren, I think a lot of people enjoyed. When we had Matt on.
Yeah.
A lot of people enjoyed that one. But so, well, let's talk a little bit then about, we got some people that we've already have committed for the upcoming season.
Yes.
I've already talked to Joey Florence. Everybody in Rockwall knows Joey. His dad, Mickey, indoor center's named after him. One of the, if not the best head coach Rockwall's ever had. Sorry, Rodney Webb. But Joey has said he'd be happy to join us. Kenda Culpepper, our district attorney, and we'll talk with her about that. We saw him at the political deal at the Meet the Candidates. Mario Smalley.
Oh, yes.
Mario Luigi.
Yes.
He has been on
His phone
me.
went off.
Has he? His phone went off in the middle of the deal. He couldn't turn it off.
But what was the ringer? It was political?
It was I think he was looking at a video, it seemed to me, and it was about an Iranian attack on something, and it was just louder than loud. And he couldn't turn it off. And it was, the Iranians have attacked, and and he's just like hitting it. It was greatness. And then I look at him and just give him one of these.
Yeah.
And he just looked like, man.
He seems like a character. I don't know him, but yeah.
He'll be fun. We have to use subtitles, because I don't know how many times when I talk to Mario, I'm like, I say that again. We saw him the other day, and he messed up something. He said something, and he was trying to use a saying that we all say, but he said it wrong, and it did not come out well. I was like, okay, you got to edit that.
Do not say that.
Don't say that. But anyway, I think we'll get Mario, and we'll get his son Donick. I love Donick. Donick is his son. Donick played football. The thing we give them a hard time about is Donick is unbelievably great guy. Went to UT, I think engineering, got a degree in engineering, unbelievable, high grades, but still works at the restaurant with his dad. Mm-hmm. And then there's the other son that is in the Air Force. If you go to Luigi's, Air Force stuff is everywhere, and there's a small little photo of Donick on the other one in a frame that doesn't really fit the photo. And so I give Donick a hard time about that all the time. I'm like, man, so you're not the favorite. Who cares?
Yes.
Who cares? So no, I love Donick, and so if we get both of them on, that'd be fun to have
awesome,
them and talk about, because Luigi's story, or Mario's story, I don't remember when Luigi started. You know, were you here when it started?
I thought he was, straight off the boat Italian for the longest time. Luigi.
I know. I know.
But no.
No. I think we're more Italian.
Probably so.
But he started over their first location was in the strip center there by Hobby Lobby. Kind of where Joe Willie's is.
Yes.
And then they built that location they have now.
Right.
But they've been there since it's been like at least 30 years they've been here in
That's making me want Luigi's. I ain't been in a while.
We had the other day. It's always good. It always comes through. So, and he better bring samples when he comes. But anyway, I've talked to him. I want to get Dwayne Kane.
Oh,
Everybody
yes.
knows Dwayne. Dwayne is Rockwall personified.
Oh, absolutely.
Great stories.
Yes.
And so I've talked to
great
Dwayne.
signs.
Yes.
Always uplifting. Dwayne
Yes.
is one of those guys where I was like, he's either one of the nicest guys I know, or he's a slimy, slick, no good.
Oh,
and
he ain't that.
he is the real deal.
I've always said when I grow up, I want to be Dwayne. Because he walks the walk. He is such a good guy.
And you can tell he cares about people.
There's a group of us that hang out. Dwayne's a part of it. Okay. And we all go to lunch and all that. And we know when Dwayne is going to lunch, we're like, Dwayne's buying then. He always buys when he goes. And so it's always disappointing when we all get together for lunch and Dwayne says, I'm out. Dang it, now we got to pay for our lunch.
Do y'all do the split it
Oh
by
yeah,
6
everybody
ways?
gets their thing.
Nobody will step up.
No, nobody steps up. And so, I mean, why would they? I'm friends with judges, lawyers, we're real estate moguls, but none of them will
Right,
spray.
nobody-
Here I am, the self-employed artist, trying to make my way. But anyway, the great guys. And so Dwayne's always with us, and he is so nice. He's rotated a bunch of us, takes us up to British Columbia and all these things. And we go to this off the grid on this cabin, and it's great. And, I'll never forget one time we were there. It was Joey was with us and David Rako and myself, and we're climbing up this cliff up there in the mountains, and Dwayne was the last one. And for those of y'all who don't know, Dwayne has done very well for himself, owner of Rest Haven Funeral Home and all that. And he slips we're all up over the cliff, and then he's getting ready to go, and he slips and falls down. It wasn't a far fall, but he fell down, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, how's Dwayne?" I was like, "He's good. He fell on his wallet, so it wasn't far. That wasn't far of a fall.
So he's all right.
He's fine. And don't forget the wallet, Dwayne. Bring the wallet up." So that's what we give him a hard time about.
Yeah.
But he is the most generous man I've ever known. He's done so much for Rockwall. His parents, Kane Middle School is named after his mom.
Yeah.
And then you have Ted Kane had the dealership, the car dealership,
Which the
on the
wall
square.
is still
Now you have
there.
the wall.
I love
Yep.
that.
Yep. So his family is, and he was with Ralph Hall for so long too. He was Ralph Hall. He drove Ralph everywhere, and he was his
I didn't
assistant. And all that. Oh,
realize
he's got
that.
great stories. He has a story about when Kennedy was shot, and he was with Ralph when that happened, and he'll have to tell that. Yeah, it's a
I would
crazy,
love to hear that.
it's a crazy thing. So no, Dwayne is great. He just gets nervous about doing something like this. Like, we'll force him to get on the air with us now and then because he's a sponsor. He doesn't own Rest Haven anymore. He sold it a couple years ago, but
Okay.
when he was an owner, he had the greatest commercial ever on our broadcast. It was Jacket Fight Never Dies, but unfortunately, old Yellow Jackets do.
That's pretty good. Who thought of that?
I think he did. I did.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah. It's greatness.
Yeah. Well, he's
So-
used to writing those signs.
Exactly.
So he-
exactly.
Yeah.
So anyway, we'd love to have him. I just need to convince him to come on, and we'll make it comfortable. We'll have him sit in the love seat here and go on a date with
This
us.
whole love seat thing, we weren't
I'm not sure
quite,
what's happening.
My wife came in with about 20. We got to do something. It's still in the works. So.
I feel like you're going to make a move on me later. And I'm
have a
very
gap.
uncomfortable.
Now when the guest comes,
Yeah, they got to sit in the middle. If Sweet comes, he'll sit on your lap. But and so those are some of my people. Then I want to also I talked to Chris Curtis and Greg Priest. Greg Priest is the AD. Chris Curtis runs the Rockwall ISD sports broadcast, and it's it's a great. That's what we put all the ball games on right now. And so anyway, we want to have them on and talk about the athletics and our Rockwall ISD, and also the sports broadcast and how we're on YouTube now, and it's really taken off and all that.
yeah,
So
I watched that a lot last year. It's great.
it is great. It's turned out really good. Other than the announcers, it's a really good.
That's
it's
what
a really
makes
good
it, man.
platform. But and then of course I think we should still have. We always have the coaches that come on. You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
We can get the football coaches to preview.
So
football.
when will we know who the new Heath?
Oh, they're interviewing now, and so I'm not. I would say give them about another couple weeks, and then we'll see what's happening there.
Do you think it will be local or not likely?
I don't know. I would assume they're going to interview a couple assistant coaches that know the program. One of the greatest things that happened when Rodney left Rockwall was them moving Trey Brooks up, because that kept the staff intact, and everybody knows the system, and basically everybody moved up a notch, or Trey did, and a lot of people kept their same jobs. He only had to get a few people to come in, and he ends up getting Andrew Colvin to be the OC, who uses that to then get the job at Roy City. So
Now, who's the guy that left to teach golf at a private
Cody Moore, yeah, but he's
Any
back.
chance? Oh, is he already back? Okay.
Came back. He just missed coaching. I mean, he was coaching at
This-
DBU.
did
Yeah,
he
he came
coach
back this year.
Okay,
He didn't start the season with them. He had to leave just before. He chose to go. There was a great opportunity to coach golf at DBU, but realized, from what I understand, I haven't talked to him about it. From what I understand, though, that he wanted to come back, and so he did. And so, but yeah, they're going to interview assistant coaches. I'm assuming. I hope they are, and then there'll be some. I mean, because that's a good job. That's a really good job. So I would imagine that they're going to. You have to post it, of course, and so there's going to be some really
They're going to
big time people that would apply.
Ton of applications.
Yeah. So you got to go through that and make sure you get the right guy. And Rockwall ISD has done a pretty good job in the last few years of getting the right coaches there. So, and not just football. We still have, and that's another one I want to mention, is having. we haven't had the basketball coaches yet, and this basketball season just went to the playoffs this year. And so, but I'd like to have our basketball coaches come on at some point.
And you know who I would like to have on, just because my daughters. I just want to. Being a Stingray dad,
100%.
is there are so many, you wouldn't believe it, and you.
I want that so bad. I want the director.
Oh, gosh.
And we have to get both drill teams. I want to get the you
Heath,
know, Jessica Clark is over there at Heath. Yeah. And so,
And Rockwall's, of course, is Whitney Walker.
And
she's great. And
I would love that. Let's get them. Because you're right. You're involved in it.
And
I just hear stories, and that's about as crazy as the sports are.
Well, you think football dads are crazy? I mean, we have dads on the sidelines doing the move 7, 8, and 1. Serious.
Did we not work on the shuffle ball toe? Did we not work on it? You know?
Pretty good. You missed the change on count 16. We're not going to Luby's. You know, it's like it's serious.
Absolutely, let's do that. And we do want to expand it too, because there's so many great things that happen in our schools that, you know,
there is.
And people that don't understand how good we do, not only in the bands. The bands are unbelievable. They win competitions, and then the other sports that don't get the attention. We've won state in gymnastics, you know, a number of times. And Rockwall has. Volleyball does unbelievably well.
And we've never had the basketball coaches.
No. And so we need to do that. And because it's always fallen in, when we stop our podcast is when basketball starts. And then it ends about when we start up again and we start grabbing all these others. And I really want to make a point of getting the basketball coaches here for girls and guys to get the 4 coaches and have them here. And it'll be tight on the couch, but we'll figure it out.
But to get around it.
Yeah. But no, I really want to do that too. And I haven't contacted them, but I'm hoping that they're open to it.
Yeah.
But we've known Coach Williams and Coach Waters for a long time at Rockwall and Heath Boys.
Now you know who I'm working on.
Okay, I want to hear your people. I want to hear who you want.
Well, you may know him, Sean Marion.
I do. You freaked him out a couple times.
I'm getting closer.
Okay.
So you know, I've told you my story when I called him.
Yes.
So I obtained his phone number.
Very uncomfortable. Yeah.
You said, Jay, that's not how you get.
That is not how you do it.
So I called it.
You literally stalked him.
And he answered, "Hello." I said, "Mr. Marion." He said, "Who's this?" And I'm like, oh,
yeah. This is not the right path.
I just wanted off the phone. It was just. And I said, "My name."
Are you happy with your cell service? I would have just gone that route.
I said, "Mr. Marion, I'm a huge fan, and we do a local podcast. Here, let me stop you right there. How'd you get this number?"
Oh man, yes.
I said, "Well, I don't even know. I've just had it, and I've just always wanted to just ask you to be on our local podcast." And he's like, "I don't know how you got it," and he just went off.
And how did you get it? I guess you can't tell.
I can't remember. If he comes, he's going to want to know where that.
Yeah, that has to be the first story. If he comes, he's not coming after you stalked him like that.
Well, and then I said, "You know what? I'm so sorry. I know that's not. I was just so excited to know you're in the area and to be able to call you." And then everything changed. He was like, "All right, I'm sorry."
Yeah.
Let me.
Very nice.
He said, I've got a lot going on. It's my boy's birthday today.
Oh, good, Jay.
He said, "Call me back." He said, "Call me back." But I'm too scared to call him back. Do you think I think you make the next call. But
no,
see, the next
not
call
like you did.
The next call's not unsolicited. He said, "Call me back."
Well, then you have to. I can't do it. You have to.
Right now?
No, don't do it right now. I want to be as far away from this as possible. Okay. But, Shaquille O'Neal lives in the area. You're going to try to get Shaq?
Oh, that'd be a little tougher, I think.
Well, just call him up, Jay. Apparently that's your gig. Just show up.
Knock on the door.
Knock on the door.
They don't believe in the dream. Anything can happen.
Oh, I believe in the dream. I just know that you can't. They have agents for a reason, and they have publicists for a reason.
Their agent, when they hear we're with a local podcast,
but they might.
They're going to throw that away so quick. But see, now he knows who I am, the crazy guy that called him.
That'll get him. Yeah, that'll get him. Hey,
we're going to get him this season.
Yeah, NBC wants you, and also this crazy guy from Rock 30. Well, definitely the Rock 30 guy.
Don't forget who John Ratcliffe turned down right before us.
That's right.
Joe Rogan?
Yes. he
Told
did.
him no.
Yep, but it came on ours.
Flew on a jet for the Rock 30 podcast.
Yeah, he
A
did.
real jet, not the JF&D jet.
That's a real jet, Jay.
Oh, that's right.
What are you doing? You're blowing everything.
So I'm working on that one.
All right. You're working on that one.
I might just throw Shaquille in there.
All right, yeah.
If I get, let's do this bet right now. This season, if I get, let's say both. If I get Shaquille O'Neal and Marion on this show, in this building.
First of all, coming to this building, we got to talk about that, but go ahead.
Well, if we get them on the show, because they may not want to come out here.
No.
How much?
If you think he's already scared of you from just a phone call, and then when he accepts your invitation and you're driving through the woods for 2 hours, it feels like. I mean, y'all don't understand.
turning around.
Y'all don't understand where Jay's house is now. It is like, I passed Hansel and Gretel over there just a minute ago. It is deep in the woods, dirt road. You got to go through a gate. I had to ask for the code again. And then you're just going through, and you're like, we're going to get
keep
murdered.
all the fans out. You know,
There was a leather-faced guy with a chainsaw waves at me as I come over. There's I'm not kidding. There's an abandoned car. There's an abandoned trailer. People have just left their vehicles, and here we are doing a podcast.
We are hidden. When it shit hits the fan, Billy.
So you think Sean Marion's going to be like, yeah, this is a good decision. This was good.
Okay, so I'm not going to throw Shaquille in there. That's too much. But let's place a wager.
Okay.
On if I can get Sean Marion
All right.
on this podcast this season. So let's just say by the end, December 31st, 2026.
Okay. All right. Because actually we stopped before that, though.
I know, but if he calls,
All right, we just do it.
go. Yeah.
All right. So you're going to say by December 31st, you have to have Sean Marion on the podcast.
Yeah. And so what do you? $200. Let's start it at.
Let's do this. Let's throw in one of our recent guests. I will take you to a steak dinner
Okay.
at Zanata,
I like that.
and we'll drinks and everything.
And if
included.
I can't do it,
and if you can't do it,
then I'll take you to Zanata's.
no, that ain't fair because
You don't think I can do it.
No, I don't.
But then it's on. It's on.
You've already scared the man.
You don't know me.
I know you. I know you're going to keep doing it, but also know.
Oh, we may get him on. We may get the police may come.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Oh man!
Jay,
But I'll be like,
you can't be within 500 feet of Sean Marion.
Wait, let me add that. Either he's on the show or I get a restraining order. You have to buy this. One of the two.
Okay, I'm in.
Then you're okay.
All right,
That's it.
It's a lot easier to get the restraining order. All you got to do is you keep calling him. He's going to do it. You're going to show it. I'm like, man, all right, let's go to Zanata's. Kevin and Al save a table for us.
It ain't happening because he's coming on.
All right. No, and if you get him on, yeah, I'm buying you.
But why would he say call me back?
Because he was being nice and his son was having a birthday
But
that you interrupted.
But a man like that don't say call me back. He says don't ever call this number again.
Okay. All right.
But he didn't.
But that was like, what, a year and a half ago? He's forgotten. He's had 1 million people talk to him since then.
I'm going to say, remember me, Jay, from Rock 30? He's
a world champion on the Mavericks, and he's worried about Jay calling him. But anybody else that we really will have on the show? That
I'm going to put a lot of energy in that.
Okay.
But, I think the drill team director.
Yes, I think that's an outstanding idea. Yeah.
Although my daughters will probably cringe.
No, we need them on here too.
Oh, they'd never.
We joked about this before we went on the air. If we had the wives join us.
I want to do the wives.
Yeah.
It'll be a little hard to get.
I
think both of them, it'd be tough to get either of them on. But I think
Autumn will get on. Autumn
she'll do it.
She's done, when we've done broadcast, I let her do play-by-play one time. That was the worst mistake I ever made.
Did she really?
Yeah. Oh, here comes the big guys. Oh, they squashed the little guy. They squashed him.
Do you have a recording of that?
I should.
So we can, when she comes to the
I'll
show.
I'll find it. Yeah. It's not pretty. But no, I think Autumn would definitely do it. And my daughter's on me because if we have Autumn, then she'd be like, well, I've never been on.
Yeah. She's
so
the last
pure nepotism going on right now. So we have to get the family. Maybe we should do a family one.
Around the table.
Around the table.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, and do that. And just, then me and you skip out and let them just rip us.
Let them go on and on.
But I don't know. I don't know how many people would be interested in that, because other guys have their wives ripping them.
They are, yeah. They're like,
but they may like seeing it.
That's true.
Somebody else getting ripped.
That's how it goes.
Yeah,
Everybody deals
You never know. So, but no, and then one of the main reasons for this too is we want to ask all the viewers who they want.
And suggestions.
Put them in the comments or call us or email us.
Stories.
We have an email, right? Don't we have a?
We do. It's J-A-Y at rock30podcast.com.
Okay.
Use that one.
Use that one. Don't. Apparently, I don't have one. Jay has his own separate podcast. He has his own email. Apparently, I'm just a fixture. I'm just like a light fixture that comes in.
It's $9 a month, Billy.
Well, if you get Sean Marion on, we'll be making big money.
I've never used the email, so this will be the.
Better check it.
I better make sure it works.
All right, here we go. I'll throw out Billy@cueballdesign.com. That's my email. So email me there. And if you have any ideas, or definitely put it in the comments on this, because we want y'all's idea. And obviously what our goal is here is we love having people here associated with the Rockwall, Heath, Royce City area. We call it Rock 30 because we're Rockwall guys. But we want y'all's input. There's some people out there we don't know about. If y'all have a granddad or somebody that has a great story or great life or things going on, we'd love to have them. And get in touch with us. We'll set it up and see if we can get them on, because we just want to keep talking about the whole Rockwall scene. It's getting, we got more and more people moving here. We have so many more people that are involved, and then that brings us to our first episode this year when we were talking to all the candidates. I enjoyed that immensely.
I did
talking
too.
to all of them. You were tense because it was live, but you did great.
It was all right.
I couldn't hear a thing, so there was a lot of times that
we didn't have
our headsets.
We didn't have headsets, and it was loud in there.
Yes, it was. The whole podcast shows their speech that they had. Each one had speech, and then they joined us for about a 4-minute spiel, and it was like speed dating. And we talked about that on there, and I've had a few of them call me for a date, which is weird.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It was a connection. I didn't make a connection. I guess. So, anything
odd.
stand out? Do you want to say? Did anybody stand out?
The ones that stand out for me, I really enjoyed, and I'll be perfectly honest, those running for the state school board had not really been on my radar. And then when we talked to them, it was really interesting, and it's something that's really important. But for some reason, we all don't really have that as up there with county commissioners and county judges and state senate and stuff.
We haven't
like
talked. We were on hiatus during the school bond.
Yes. Yeah, that got through.
What'd you think?
I'm glad.
Yeah.
The teachers deserve it.
Absolutely.
I think it was marketed much better.
Is it the Vatra?
That's what Dale Downham called it. It's the Vader, but he announced it the Vatra.
Vatra, that's
yeah. Okay.
What'd you think about all the craziness surrounding that? Once again, division, hatred.
I think
memes.
It was a tough time because taxes, the big battle was all the taxes that were being raised or installed or whatever. Then here comes another one. And I think the thing that people forget about school districts they think that the school district is the one running the property taxes and things like that. They aren't. They're just getting what is available to them dictated by the state, and they're basically saying, hey, we need more because what we're getting, this county and this district is growing so rapidly. We're building tons of things, and so it's needed. But that didn't pass. But the Vader, which is the raise for the teachers and the employees, much deserved. I'm happy it did. And I think it was a common sense deal for a lot of people. I think it failed the first time because it was associated with all the other things that Rockwall needs, but unfortunately didn't get voted in.
And I think that messed up the vote for the Vader the first time.
Exactly.
If the Vader by itself, remember it was really confusing on the ballot that year.
And this is my opinion, and I'll just mark it myself here, because the first time too, I don't think it was marketed well because it didn't answer a lot of the questions. At the second time, I'm proud of that we marketed it much better as far as answering questions and making people be aware of it. And then also throw in, you're exactly right, the ballot, the way it was in the ballot was very confusing. We literally did a mailer explaining what it would look like on the ballot.
It was great.
And so that was an important thing too, to make sure people understood how it went. Because that's another thing that drives me crazy. Me and Cash were talking about the other day, the way you go vote now and you have all these propositions and you have to read it 2 or 3 times to understand, if you don't want this, vote yes, whatever. And it's always those kind of things.
Several propositions that are up.
Yeah.
So I urge people to read them before you go, because they're important and a lot of good ones.
And then go and, obviously go to all the articles written about the candidates. But I'd love you to look at our podcast where we talk to them and their speeches. There were some, you talk about what stood out. I thought that I like people that just natural. And a lot of them we know, I know Chris Florence, and Chris was great. I joke, we joked with Chris, and he's just an easygoing guy. I love him. And James Branch is easygoing, and a few others. But I do think the one heated one, it seems like, it's Frank New and Scott Muckenstern.
And I don't know much about Muckenstern.
Well, he's got a ton of commercials on, and
they're saying he's back to big money.
And he talked about it. We had him on, and he talked about his stance. That's the big stance between them, is the pro development, not as pro on development as far as people calling the shots as far as the builders and developers and things like that. But go and check that out. That's the one that's a little bit more heated. That's the race. And I don't believe it's Scott that did it. It's a pack that has where we talk about the mudslinging a little bit, where the commercial has been on 100 times, calling Frank New a liberal. Liberal Frank New is doing this.
Yeah. That's where they're going.
He's not a liberal, but that's just the way things go, because they didn't like the way he,
it's the
dealt with something.
Well, it's the R word, rhino.
Yes, right.
That's the way to kill a career real quick.
Yeah, it can. And I know, and so anyway, I don't want to go either way on this one, but I think that that's a very heated one. I think a number of them, the county court at law one race, will more than likely have a runoff.
But Archibald's story.
Yes, Richard Archibald. Yeah.
Wow. And just
go watch the podcast, because it's a great story on why he wants to be a judge, why he became a lawyer, and all these things. And it's I know Richard and Ken, his brother Ken, who's great.
Ken, I know.
And Ken's great.
Wonderful Christian men, too.
Yeah, both of them. And families are great and all that. I got to, when I had Q-Ball Design, I had an outside office for a long time, and officed right down the hall from Ken. And enjoyed having Ken right down the hall. Yeah, it was very interesting talking to all of them. They didn't have a chance to really get into a lot of stuff with the 4 minutes we had to run it through.
It's tough.
But they did get to talk more about it when they made their speech. So I'd highly recommend going and watch that. But a couple of them had some really good ones. Of course, we talked to Bob Hall.
Yeah, I had never met Bob Hall.
Yeah,
and he was great.
Yeah.
I do want to, without getting too political locally as this election's going on. The comments about him being too old.
Yeah.
Without making any other, accusations or who I support, I just found that after speaking to him for a while, that was completely baseless and unfair.
Right.
And whoever is saying that should be embarrassed.
Right.
Because he seemed quicker than I am. I mean, I forget half the words I'm trying to think of,
he's been there a while. I never really go along with the age thing, because, you can look at people. You saw Biden, who clearly age was a deal, but Trump is, I think, about the same age and looks different.
It's
Reagan, for the longest time looked good. Then near the end of his term, you could see he started.
Yeah. But when they do that, it makes me not believe anything they say.
Right.
If you have to say he's too old and going senile, well, I can clearly see that's absolute bullshit. So now everything you say, you're just a liar.
You're trying to push
so it doesn't help.
And then let's mention Jason Eddington, who's running against Rob. I enjoyed meeting him, and I thought he was really, really good too. And he came and talked with us. So it's really interesting races going on. And then after this, we got the city council races, and I believe. If they, and also I believe board of trustees, I think there may be a couple there that'll be in May. And so, we got some things happening politically around here.
You've been watching the Olympics?
No.
Okay, have you heard about the cheating?
Yes, the Canadian cheating. The both sides, the women and the men, both cheated.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
They caught the women too. I guess they kept their finger on it a little too long. Yeah. I saw that.
Was it the Canadian women?
Yeah, the men did it first, and then apparently the women also did it. Apparently,
so Canada is not playing fair.
They are not playing fair. I did watch a great documentary last night about that's how bad I am. I watched the 1980 men's hockey team documentary.
The story?
The story,
is that the Miracle?
They had the movie Miracle, but this was a recent documentary made about that team. It was outstanding last night.
And that's the game is coming up again, and it's the anniversary.
They beat Sweden today.
Okay, so the next one is...
Yes, that's right.
It's a mimic of that game, and it's, I think, on the anniversary.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I distinctly remember that.
Yeah. So how was the documentary?
Outstanding. Really? Because it was a really cool angle. They talked to all the players, they brought them back, and they brought them back to Lake Placid, and they came into the arena, and they all sat there and told their stories. Yeah. It was really good. Cool. And so you get all the behind-the-scenes things that happened, and they talk about Herb Brooks, who was the coach, who was really mean to them, but he did it on purpose to make them, because they didn't get along at first, because they had rival schools that were on this team, and he made them, he on purpose was very mean to them so they would bond in their hatred of him. And they became a great team because of that. And then, of course, by the end of it, they realized what he did and how much he meant to them and all that. And he had passed away. You know, he died, about 20 years ago or so. He was in a car wreck. Yeah.
Wow.
So they talked about him and all that stuff. But it's really good. It's really good. But, the Olympics, Winter Olympics, it's tough for me. And I'll be honest with you, the American athletes that are bashing America, not rooting for them.
Yeah, I've been
I don't want, you know, I'm literally like, oh, she doesn't like it. All right, go Sweden. Yeah. You know, whoever's going against them.
Can you
kick their ass?
Can you just be an athlete?
Just go, because I know there's things you don't agree with, but I can't imagine that there haven't been a billion athletes that agree with everything about their country.
Yeah.
You know,
it's a form of entertainment. Can we just escape for one night and watch a basketball game, a football game, Olympics? Mm-hmm.
No,
we hear enough. We hear enough of it. That used to be our escape.
Right. Not anymore. It's all. I mean, you watch a football game now, and you got sayings in the end zones, on the end of the end zones about racism and stuff, which I agree with. But why are they there?
Why divide?
Right.
Just why?
And is there a racist watching the game, saying, you know what? That changed my mind. That he says end racism at the end. I'm doing a 180.
Virtue signaling is what it is.
Mm-hmm. You know, it is what it is. It's America now. Everything's politicized. No matter what you do, it's all politics. I mean, what was it? Recently the Tonys was just a bash.
Oh,
you know,
everybody
Republicans
has to remark on us.
Yeah. So, and then they wonder why ratings are down. Why? I mean, you look at these late night shows. All they do is bring on their Democratic candidates, you know, and apparently there's a controversy recently where they had the guy running against Crockett, and I'm forgetting his name. He was on Tallarico, yeah. And he's
an interesting candidate.
But he was interviewed by was it Colbert?
Oh,
he was on the show, but they CBS decided not to air it. He did the interview and everything, and then they didn't air it. There's a big controversy about it.
Did they say why?
Because of because he doesn't have Crockett also coming on. You have to have both candidates.
Oh.
But honestly, those shows don't normally do that. They always have people, and I don't remember them always being equal.
No,
you know, they always have, and it's always Democrats. They never have Republicans on.
Right, and they're not grilling them on topics.
No, I mean, they will on the.
Remember Clinton playing the saxophone around Arsenio Hall?
Right, but that was a different era.
It was.
You know, and
pre-internet.
I actually thought that was cool.
It was
when he
cool.
did that. You know, and I liked. That's the thing, man. I didn't agree with Obama about hardly anything. But I liked him as a guy.
He was
easygoing.
Very
he was,
likable.
you know, all that. He's like Clinton the same way. You know, and I don't agree with Clinton, but you look like a guy. He'd be a fun guy to have a beer with. Mm-hmm. You know, or I don't know if you want to hit the clubs with him. You might get in trouble. Mm-hmm. But I don't think it doesn't seem like liberals. Because dude, it would be a blast to hang out with Trump and all his. Crap.
Oh yeah, anybody.
And I don't agree with. I mean, I agree with the majority of Trump's policies, but I'm speaking for myself. But I think a lot of people like this. Like, okay, good. He's going to install that. Great. Okay, please stop talking. Please stop talking. Don't go further.
Done.
Damn it! You're still talking. Quit it. Because he then just starts going off on things. You're like, no, things were good here. Now you're getting it. And so that's just. But if I was a liberal, I would hate him too, because he is just. Off the charts, man. If there was a liberal like that was way off the charts like he is sometimes, I would hate him.
Yeah.
Or her, whoever.
It's like he's having fun with it.
Yeah.
He's
a lame duck. He doesn't care. I mean, he doesn't need to, and I probably would too.
Yeah.
I love a lot of it. I do. I think it's funny. I think
he's a hilarious guy.
I think it's great. And the way he just, you know, will rip somebody, and he's extremely childish, man. If somebody says something negative, he just goes back. Well, you're a loser.
Like
and I'm
you said,
who does that?
The post on who was it that passed? Reiner.
Yeah,
that was
over
come
the
on.
top.
I don't care who you are.
No, you just either. You know, rest in peace, praying for his family, or just don't say anything. Just let it go. Because he did have a nice one about Jesse Jackson that just passed away.
Did he?
Yeah, he had a nice one there. And it's like, okay, he's capable. But, you know, I don't know.
Well, it's because Reiner had directly insulted him.
Yes.
So his ego only time he got the last word, he took the chance to take
Exactly. He did. He got the last word in. And I just think I don't think it was good. I don't think,
It wasn't a good look.
No, I just don't. And so, and I'll say this. When he's gone, when his term is up, if he doesn't run for a third, I mean, the audacity.
I'm like, please don't, because that's
Me too.
That would. Let's just not.
He put his name on the Kennedy Center. I mean, like, what are you doing? At what point did you? The Trump and Kennedy Center. What are you doing? And so those are things I'm like, oh, man. But I agree with a lot of the policies, so I just chuckle and move on.
Yeah.
It's going to be taken down when the next Democrats elected. All this stuff's going to be taken down.
Are we officially? Is it the official Gulf of America? Is that?
I think it's official.
Like that is what they're now teaching.
But if you watch the news networks, the liberal ones say Gulf of Mexico, and the conservatives say Gulf of America. Yeah.
Wonder what it says in school books. Well, they don't have books. But.
No, they don't. I don't know. I mean, because a lot of the books have been printed a while back. So, heck, I remember when we were in school, we had books from the 50s we're using. You could see copyright 1958. You're like, oh, man. But I don't know. But yeah, all these things that a lot of them, I'm like, come on, man. Let's move forward. Don't need it. But that's him. And that's the way it is. I get why people don't like him, though. Liberals don't like him.
I like him.
I like him a lot.
But you and Ratcliffe had that talk. Mm-hmm. Even Ratcliffe was like, sometime, how did he word it? I don't want to put word in his mouth, but it was something like, I don't love when he.
Right. But I think it's basically, and that's what we tell, like, when our family will have an argument or something. And a lot of times our arguments are about the personalities that'll clash now and then, and not even just family, but friends or whatever. And at some point you just have to say, why are you expecting that person to be different for you? That's who they are. You either need to let it go, or if you want to fight every time, then keep doing it. But that person ain't going to change, just like you shouldn't change. And that's the way I look at Trump. He ain't going to change. He's going to keep doing it. And if you say something to him, he's going to do it more. That's just the kind of, he's immature. He's an immature guy.
But his job is to get what we need to get done. And that's why we elected him. And it's like, what if you had a very difficult heart surgery that you needed, but the best in the world who you had the best chance with was a total jerk, idiot, rude to you, rude to your wife, but it comes time to slice.
Yep.
I see it
and
like that.
And that's where I am with Trump. I'm on board with the majority of his policy. Now, the ICE thing, I think it did go a little far, but I also think that we were in a tough spot because it seemed to be going great with cities that cooperate with them and use their local authorities, but the cities that didn't, that's where it got bad.
Did you find the timing so strange? All the billions of dollars of fraud, and then bam, ICE is in Minnesota, of all places. that was the whole. Minnesota went from we're talking about billions of dollars of fraud to now ICE is there.
Well, but I think from what I understand, ICE is in a lot of places though.
Yeah, but
But it all hit there because I think because you have very liberal mayor and governor that were fighting it. And that made it worse. And they were not allowing any of their police officers to help.
But somebody funds those big events.
Those protests?
Those protests. Yeah. I firmly believe millions are spent.
Well, if you look at them, the signs are all similar. The people, they have these things where they show the same people at all of them. No, I'm not saying there aren't people that travel around and do it, and they do it legitimately because they're passionate about it or whatever. But I don't know. I think there's so many things that are not as organic as we think they are.
Did you hear about the Heath High School walkout?
I did not. I know that there was talk about it.
Yeah,
did they walk out?
I never heard anything about it.
I don't think anybody
I saw
did.
the flyer.
Yeah.
Which I think that's I'm going to make an assumption that was, whether they'll say it or not, put together by adults. To me, I don't think that was a junior or a senior in high school who was like, we're going to do this. I'm going to make a flyer. We're going to get it distributed. We're going to. Somebody did that.
Oh, you mean like a parent or something?
A parent, or a member of the.
Could be. I
don't know that, but I think I guarantee you.
I like how it was handled. That I don't think we had walkouts, if I understand it right.
I never heard it.
I know that Autumn she teaches at Saxe, and
nothing happened.
They had a big thing of everybody walking out, and she said nobody did.
Oh, wow.
Because the principal came on and basically said, hey, all right, if you do it, here's your punishment, here's what's happening. And a majority of them, they may have had some scragglers or something.
I don't think most high schoolers care enough. Would you have cared?
I wouldn't have cared, but if I have a chance to get out of school, I would
That's
have
what
done
it was.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, somebody was like,
But we weren't in the
politics.
politics like they are now.
No, that's true. We didn't barely know who was president.
Right. I remember the only politics that we ever dealt with was I was in 8th grade when Reagan got shot, and we watched it on TV, and whatever class you're in, they brought a TV in and everybody watched the coverage of it. That was it. I don't remember, and you had classes about these things, but I remember also we would have elections like the school. I remember it was when, how old am I? When it was Reagan versus Carter, and we would have the election in our school, and you could pick one that you.
That's cool.
And
then they'd announce the winner.
Yeah, and they announced the winner and all that. Which, what a surprise, Reagan won. But but anyway, I remember that. But there was nobody I can remember. Now I'm in Lampasas in the middle of nowhere. We're not really too worried about a lot of the worldly things going on. At least as kids, we weren't. Parents were, but the kids weren't. Nowadays, it's in your face all the time. The kids see it in front of them.
It's on TikTok. Like my girls, as they scroll very regularly, and it's
or Mario.
Yeah, Mario.
When he lets his go
it was
on
his TikTok as well.
But so I think it's a whole different world now. My kids are way more knowledgeable about world politics and than when I was at that age. My son's just knee deep, and he loves it, and he has been since middle school.
Do you think he'll do something political?
I think he wants to. I don't know if he'll ever run for an office, but I think he'd like to. He loves the local governments, though. He likes city government, all that kind of stuff. And he works for Royce City as the city planner there, and absolutely loves all that. Loves the interaction with people. Loves the businesses coming in and them dealing with the zoning and all. That's stuff that would drive me crazy. And he loves that stuff. And so, I mean, we'll see him tonight, and I'm sure I'm going to get an earful about some zoning issue on Main Street. And he'll be all in, like, and they want this. I'm like, oh,
well, it becomes, it kind of entraps you when you're hearing the sides of it. And yeah. And
I think he loves the interaction. A lot of people do, and that's why they're in it. That's why they're involved with it. I'll never forget when he worked for Justin Holland, and he was in high school, and he had his first day. And his job was to answer the phone when people called the Rockwall office. And he came in after, and I go, hey, how'd it go today? And he goes, Dad, this guy called. There's like 2 or 3 people called, and they were so mad. They started screaming about things. I was like, well, what do you think now? And he goes, I love it.
So you're like, you may be cut out.
Yeah, I go, well, then that's your gig, man. Go do it.
It sounds like he likes to see things that he can be part of a change.
Yeah, exactly.
And when it's local, you literally can see it.
Well, that's his thing.
On planning and zoning, when we'd vote for a building, and then, a few months later to see it go up, you're like, I was part of that.
Yes.
That's a really neat
That's
feeling.
his deal. And that's what he had an opportunity to come back to Rockwall at one point. It wasn't at the same level as Royce City, but he wanted to stay at Royce City because there's a massive change going on there because of the growth, and he wants to be a part of it. And I think that's great, and I love that. And so, I got one kid that is all into politics and city government. Now my daughter's now working as a nurse, and I'm being told you can't eat that, don't do this.
She got you on a diet?
Well, not yet, but I thought I was going to lose weight. I had prostate surgery.
I remember, yeah.
And so I thought, okay, I'm going to drop some poundage here because I did not want to eat.
For those that didn't hear, what were you told by the doctor about your prostate?
Oh, yeah, let's go into that. Well, I don't want to brag, but it was pretty big.
It was largest he'd seen.
Largest he had seen. So, hello, ladies. But sorry, I'm taken. So we had that, and it's not cancer, so that's a good thing. But I thought, oh man, anytime you have surgery and all that, you're going to lose some weight. We probably should be done here since we're talking about weight gain. This should be edited out.
Weight gain
surgery, prostate surgery. We don't need to put that on the air. But I do want to ask everybody that does watch, and we joke around, but I'm so proud we do have a good amount of viewers. We've had a number of our videos go into, I think we've had 6,000 views for Ratcliffe, and I think we got up to 8,000 for a couple others. So we want to thank everybody watching.
Try to beat the 10,000.
I want to get up to I want to get up to 5 figures. Yeah. But so let's make this one. Let's do this. Let's make this podcast 10,000, which it won't even get to 1,000. But anyway, we have some guests come up, and we want y'all's input.
Yeah.
You know, and thank you for all those that have been great. When we see them around town, they'll kind of give us some, and there's a few that'll give us a few critiques, and that's
We've
good
had
too.
some just really good guests that were very generous of their time.
Yes. Yeah, very much so. And like I said, we got a number of businessmen here and businesswomen that are pretty important that we probably need to think about having them on, that are a big part of the community. We've had a number of elected officials that are a big part that we're proud to have, and we'll have again, and I know, like a lot of it, we have everybody gets involved with the athletics and the school, so that's why we have a lot of those folks on too. But I'm excited about the drill team thing. I think we need to do that. I think that'd be a very interesting, because that's a world that a lot of people are involved in, but people like me
haven't seen that
side. And I know how athletics goes with parents and pressure.
Have you seen Dance Moms?
I have. My wife and daughter watch it. It drives me crazy.
It's not far from that.
Every time I see it on, I walk in, I go, wait, are the parents mad at the dance instructor in this one? What a weird one. This must be like a special edition one. Because I'm like, why do they keep bringing their girls back if all they do is complain about her? They keep bringing them back.
That's part of it.
I guess. I just don't understand it. But anyway, I got to deal with my daughter watching that and the Kardashians. We always go back and forth. I can't stand the Kardashian show.
I haven't seen that in years.
She'll watch that.
I can't believe it's still on.
Oh, yeah, it's on. And so we'll have our debates back and forth about, she thinks they're very important. I'm like, they are not important at all. And we'll go back and forth.
Culturally.
Yeah.
Fashion-wise.
I guess. I don't know. It just drives me crazy.
Do we shoot for one of the Kardashians?
That's up to you.
No, I'm not going to make a bet on
Yeah, I was going to say, I'll bet that one. Yeah. Well, I would like to get Bruce Jenner or whatever. What's it? Caitlyn Jenner now.
Caitlyn, yeah. Interesting, or strong Republican.
Strong Republican transgender.
Very strong Republican.
Yeah. Like Ricky Gervais said, she didn't do much for women driving, He had the wreck right after having that. It's like, it didn't help.
That did not.
But anyway, there's a lot of people, if we could get to them, I'd love to have on here. I'd even like to have, I just want anybody that just is entertaining.
Yeah, just a crazy story.
Crazy. Tim Waltz. Let's get Tim Waltz on here and just hear him go nuts, because that dude's off the charts.
Oh, gosh.
I mean, the things he says, you're like, what in the world is he talking about? But yeah, it's great. Hey, dude, this is fun, though. I'm glad we're doing it. And thank you for the date here on the Love Seat.
I like the Love Seat.
Do you?
It's just not going to work with the kids.
It
could work.
I think we need to go back to a table.
But I wouldn't be able to see you around it.
I always have to give you the signal of let's cut that, But no, we'll do that, and we'll see what we can do. But we contact a lot of people, and tell us who you want, because we'll try to get them.
Comments.
Or if you think you'd be a good guest, tell us.
Yeah.
Come on, we'll do it.
All right. Well, we'll see you guys next time.
All right.
Thank you.
Living on the dance floor.